Hello, Teal Deer. This is a response video to your video, Intellectual Rigor versus Ponage. You have answered much of your own questions in the way of why it is more popular to participate in a culture of outrage and rhetoric than a culture of truth and effective action. The idea that the anti-feminism masses, when stooping to the level of the feminists, end up working counter to their own cause. Same with the anti-SJW masses, stooping to the level of social justice warriors they work against, only serving to solidify the hatred put forward from both sides, in actuality. And as you had stated, copy and paste for many other movements and their antecedents. Firstly, I would like to say that anger is a very good marketing ploy for the exchange of ideas, and it is a quicker path to more views and celebrity in the YouTube community. People want that fame, income, or both from this platform, and they only have to gain from participating in the outrage. CGP Grey had done a wonderful video that correlates to this claim. It's short and I'll link it below for those who are interested. Second, I would state that it is easier. It is easier to insult or debunk an idea or person who holds an idea or ideology you disapprove of. It is easier than to put forth a productive idea or solution. The legwork, as you put it, of gathering empirical data and forming objective viewpoints is a much larger investment than many are willing to consider, with a lower rate of return on that investment. So you will have people that start with that outrage, and once they gain their audience, may use the revenue they receive, whether in the form of actual financial backing or the revenue of psychological and social reinforcement, to dig deeper and start doing the legwork. It follows a model of feeling that something is wrong, forming and voicing your disagreement, postulating a conclusion or solution, and then pushing or enacting that solution. Many people don't make it past voicing their disagreement, because that's where you enter real mental toughness. People can challenge your viewpoint or disagreement, but they cannot rob you of your disagreement. Your opinion, right or wrong, is factually your opinion. However, once you put a conclusion down, once you set out a solution or a call to action, you put forward a much larger investment with much larger consequences. You can lose your voice if you misstep, losing your voice completely if you misstep a number of times. I had a conversation with my chums this past weekend about the protest that happened at CNN headquarters, where a large group of people gathered to show their disapproval of CNN's media practices. Of course, CNN didn't report on the issue happening at their door. This represents another cost of actually investing in action and solution. Being impotent. I dare say that to put in the additional work to move towards solution and to be ignored or passed aside as harassment is the worst result. A resulting exchange of ideas, even in the form of argument, is more productive than being ignored. But it's a start. Someone is doing something that gathers others of a similar viewpoint. As you gain more minds, you are more and more likely to gain a greater mind among them that can assert more efficient direction. Metathinking plays a great role at this point. Let's say out of 100 people slewing insults back and forth at practices they disapprove of, one person creates a factual and civil argument, and in time, their number grows to another 100. And out of that, one person creates a solution that fails. But as more people form more solutions, they are statistically more likely to succeed. Social activists used to be more intelligent, more mature across the board when it comes to civil discourse. When I say civil, I mean peaceful, if still passionate, but peaceful discourse. The immaturity is apparent in social movements today, to and fro, as you are pointing out in your video. You put a call to action for people of similar mind or viewpoint to basically cut the shit and be productive, or at least aspire to be more productive and to effect change. Both sides of these movements are comfortable to sit within their groups and to say to themselves they are doing their part with their voice when no actual progress is being made, or certainly no positive progress. These debunkers and pwners, swelling the ranks, are a visible opposition to silence. At the very least, many of them hold that both sides have the right to free speech and the right to offend. Because without any conversation from both sides, progress cannot be made, and slow downfall is ensured. These pwners are keeping the door open as a cost. As their numbers grow, these calls to effective action need to grow as well. You do a service by upholding and attempting yourself to walk farther away from the role of debunker and pwner. With your research on Addie and your action of breaking that news before the media, you do a service to those people who will listen. However, even you see the problem inherent in the impotence of lacking an effective change when you've put forth truth and undeniable fact. You still choose to fight the good fight, and by doing so, set an example. It is not within every person out there to do the same, even if they wish to make the effort. But as the movements grow, leaders will show themselves in ways that more effectively shape the actions of like-minded people to bring about and implement much needed and quantifiable change. Or the movements will transform, die off, or remain impotent. Passionate people do a disservice to themselves for allowing the latter. But effort, actual effort met with failure, is not that same disservice.